welcome to the second episode of Movies in the Man Cave. Second episode being good news because we haven't been canceled yet. So, we're going strong. I'm Cody.
I'm Jared, and this week on Movies in the Man Cave, we're doing our top 5 animated, non-digital movies, meaning not like
Not
Pixar,
computerized, not, DreamWorks, that type of stuff.
Yep, so we're doing our top 5 animated movies.
I have a feeling that if they were included, probably 4 of our top 5 would be digital.
Oh, absolutely.
They make great movies these days. So
I'm pretty sure all my 5
So
would
we're
be
excluding those
digital.
and having classic animation.
Right.
Yep.
So we start with number 5. Right.
Before I get to number 5, I have an honorable mention that I wanted to put in, but I didn't know if it fit into the category.
Okay.
And that's Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I thought the exact same thing.
Just such a great movie, a classic.
Yep.
Half animation, half live
That's
action.
why
So
I
it's
didn't
really
know.
tough to put in there. So
We'll throw it in there.
honorable mention,
for both
Who
of us.
Framed Roger Rabbit.
Perfect.
Great movie. Okay. My number 5 animated film is Aladdin. It's a good film to begin with, but I think for me it just kind of came out at that time where it was when I was a kid, about that age that I still like cartoons, and everything else that was coming out was kind of Beauty and the Beast, maybe things geared more towards the girls.
Yep.
And Aladdin, I felt, was kind of one of the boys' movies, and a lot of fun, a lot of adventure, and good music.
Totally. My number 5 is Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. Now, honestly, before Batman Begins came out, I would honestly have said that Batman: Mask of the Phantasm was one of the best Batman movies made. Granted, it was animated. It was just, the storyline was very much like Batman Begins. It kind of told Bruce Wayne's story more than the other movies did. And it was just awesome. I highly suggest watching that if you haven't. It's amazing.
Okay, very good. My number 4 is Alice in Wonderland. It's a classic. I mean, you're going way back, but that's one that everybody's seen, everybody loves. It borders on the weird sometimes, just a little different, but just a great animated feature, I felt.
Awesome. My number 4 is your number 5, Aladdin. It like you were saying, it came out at a time where, I guess for me it was like you had The Little Mermaid, you had Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, nothing
for the chicks,
nothing for the guys and stuff, and Aladdin was just that. Plus it had, it had Robin Williams doing a voice, and it had Gilbert Gottfried doing a voice. I mean, just 2 crazy voices in one movie. It was funny. It was action packed. It was just awesome.
Great movie.
It's a great movie.
Okay, my number 3, and you might stick me for going out of the genre on this one a little bit. I didn't know if it fell into it, but I'm going to use it. It's not digital, but it's still animated.
Okay.
I'm going to go with A Nightmare Before Christmas.
I thought about that one too. I guess we'll let you slide on that.
It's already in my list, so we're not changing it now. Great film.
It is awesome.
It's great to watch near Halloween. It's great to watch near Christmas. It's great to watch year round.
Yeah.
The claymation, stop motion is just fantastic. Yep. Again, another one that just has terrific music.
It is.
I love singing the Pumpkin King song.
Yeah. Danny Elfman, Tim Burton combo.
Tim Burton with claymation, in a Halloween movie. You can't beat that. You can't beat that.
Every year, pretty much every year, it seems to come out with it in the theaters again in 3D.
3D,
and it's just
they redo it every
awesome.
year. Great movie.
Awesome.
So I'm going to put it in my number 3. You might...
Yeah,
it might be out of the genre, but it's in. I didn't know where else would it fit. We're not going to do a top 5 stop motion. That's not going to happen. So.
Yep. My number 3 is an old movie. It's called Watership Down. It's based off of a book. It sounds like a stupid premise until you actually watch it. It's about a clan of rabbits that kind of deal with oppression and all this stuff, and a group of the rabbits decide to go off and start their own little colony and everything. It's not for kids. It's maybe for kids in the 15 area because there is violence and blood and all that stuff, but it's just an awesome movie. Really well done art style and everything. It's really cool.
I won't lie, that's outside my wheelhouse. I've never seen that one.
Yeah,
so
I
can't agree or disagree. We'll just say if you like it, I assume it's a good movie.
It's awesome.
All right, my number 2, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one. This is not a popular movie by any means, but it is not just one of my favorite animated films. It's one of my favorite films. It's The Emperor's New Groove. David Spade is one of the voices. Yep. It's got Patrick Warburton, Putty from Seinfeld. You can't beat him as a voice actor. He's just the best. I think it's got great adult humor in it. A lot of jokes that might go over kids' heads, but a lot of jokes for the kids too. just a great movie. I laugh out loud every time I see it, and it's one of my favorites. So not really popular, but it's my number 2.
And even with that one, the Emperor's New School, the Saturday morning
I
cartoon.
watched the Saturday morning cartoon. I won't lie. I'm not embarrassed to say that.
It's just as funny.
Saturday morning cartoons aren't what they used to be, but I love that one.
Yep. My number 2 is the animated film of The Hobbit, also from the 70s. And it's just, and if you know the story of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit takes place before The Lord of the Rings. Tells the story of how the ring is found and everything. And just, again, the animation style is insane. The story's done really well. It has really campy 70s music in it. And so, I mean, there's a stupid, greatest story ever told song going on. And it's just, it's terrible, but it's awesome all at the same time.
Is it 4 hours long like the other Lord of the Rings movies?
It's actually just, I think, over an hour and a half or so.
Oh,
so
that seems practical.
Perfect length. So, it's awesome.
Okay. My number one film, I think a lot of people would have this in the number 1 slot, is Lion King.
The Lion King.
Just out of this world, fantastic. The soundtrack, you could just listen to that soundtrack over and over without watching the movie. I'm not a big Elton John fan, but all the songs in that movie are great. Tells a great story. You've got the drama, you've got the comedy with Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah,
I mean, great
Nathan
comic
Lane.
side, Nathan Lane and whoever did Pumbaa. Just great comedy there, and it's sad at times, but a lot of the old Disney movies were sad.
Yeah.
You got your Bambis and stuff that have
they
sad
did a good
moments,
job of taking what a normal drama action comedy movie would have been, cartoonize it, market it to kids, and it was awesome. I agree. Lion King was awesome. It's not my number 1. My number 1, again from the 70s.
Wow.
Is a movie called Wizards. It's again not for kids. It's graphic in every sense of the word, but just the way it was done. They have a lot of like still frame art, and then the background is chroma keyed out, and it's kind of live action stuff going on behind it, and like lightning clouds or other things like that. And it was really awesome. It's just kind of a story about 2 brothers that grow up to be enemies. They're both wizards. One's more magical, one's more like technology, and it's just kind of post-apocalyptic end of the world kind of thing. And it's amazing.
Again, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
You'll see it someday. It's awesome.
Did you have anything that you wanted to put on the list that just didn't fit?
I a lot of yours I wanted to put on the list, and I juggled back and forth. I mean, The Lion King.
Shame on you for not having top 5 animated films, and you don't have The Lion King up there. That's a tragedy. Tragedy.
I edited the list probably 100 times. It was just, it's on there, it's off there, it's up there. I mean, my top 3 I reorganized a million times just because I couldn't. You can't just pick one with these kind of movies, and so that's why it's kind of tough. But
what I thought was so hard is that so many of the older Disney movies I haven't seen in so long. You saw them when you were a kid, Pinocchio. Snow White, those types of ones that you saw forever ago, Dumbo, but you just don't remember well enough to say that was a great movie or that was just a really good movie.
Agreed.
Those Disney movies are so hard to come by that you don't get to see them too often these days, and it's really hard. The one that I had trouble leaving off the list was Fantasia. Yeah. Just a great film. It's got something for everybody, since it was done in so many different styles, that there's got to be one part of Fantasia that everybody likes. And I like most of the parts in Fantasia, but again, I haven't seen it in a long time, kind of back in the memory. Yeah. Didn't make the list.
I saw it a couple years ago, and the part that still sticks out to me is the Sorcerer's Apprentice with the mops.
Well, everybody knows that one. Yeah. If you don't remember any rest of the movie, Mickey Mouse as the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
The one thing that, I guess the reason I would probably keep it off is because it is kind of just a conglomerate of a bunch of different stories and everything, and that's fine and everything. But that's probably why it didn't make the top 5 with me. But
and again, I'm gonna have to say this about most of the Disney movies: great music. It's all classical music in that one, so classical composers and stuff, not stuff written for Disney, but great music to listen to. It's good for kids to hear that kind of stuff and get to know it. So
Disney pretty much hits the mark every time.
Yeah, so. They nail it. So that's our top 5 list for this week.
Right.
Last week, we left you with a quote to see if you could guess the movie.
That's right, and we're going to announce our winner was Andrea Thompson.
Very good. Congratulations. We've got the clip. The quote was, "It will be mine. Oh, yes. It will be mine." So let's take a look at the clip.
It will be mine. Oh, yes. It will be mine.
I'm going to assume it's done because we're just looking at a green screen here. If you couldn't tell from the hat, that is Wayne's World. Wayne
Wayne's
Campbell
World.
said the line. Great movie. Great
It's
line.
amazing
There
movie.
could have been 52 quotes we could have picked out of that movie,
Easily.
and they would have been just as excellent. So,
Excellent.
Yeah, excellent. See? Let's see what I did there. Well, we have a new quote for you this week, and just like last week, if you can guess the movie, put it in the comments below. If you're the first one to get the comment in there with the right answer, we'll try to give you a shout out next week. And I'll give you a hint for this one. Just remember our theme for today, and it's going to help a little bit. Not that you couldn't get it from the quote, that it might be perhaps hand-drawn animated. All right. The quote is, "Princess, you have a strong arm. Okay, please put the monkey down." That's our quote for this week.
I love that
So,
quote. Anything to do with monkeys.
slightly obscure. If you know that one, put it in the comments, and we'll try to get our winner up next week.
Sounds good.
Anything coming out this week that you're looking forward to?
Coming to the theaters.
Theaters.
This weekend, you have Thor, and that's it.
Not a lot else. A couple of chick flicks, a couple of rom-coms that I'm just
Yeah.
not interested in. But
Yeah,
I will say I am greatly looking forward to Thor.
absolutely.
Huge comic book movie fan.
I'm loving what they're doing with the Marvel stuff.
Tying them all in together.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
excited
gonna
to
be
see what they
sweet.
do. They do great action. So
Yeah, should be
even
good.
though there's not a lot else out on the plate, that just gives you more time to go see Thor
Yeah,
3
see
or 4
it-
times
see it-
instead.
Yeah, twice, 3 times.
Yeah, there's nothing else good out there. So anything else for this week, Jared?
I got nothing else.
All right, thanks for tuning in. Again, if you have any comments about the show, what you like, what you didn't like, if you have your own top 5 list of animated films, you think we missed something important, go ahead and put it in the comments,
Comments below.
and we will see you next week.